All is fair in space, or is it? A zodiac comic set in the future in space. Aries and Libra. In a future where people go to space for most kinds of work, Libra gazes teary-eyed at her home before departure. "Goodbye, my dear friend. May our paths meet again," she cries softly to herself. Aries hears. He tries to comfort her. "It'll be okay. 6 months and you're right. You're doing this for him." She hugs the photo and sobs. "You're right. We need the money." 2 months later. Love me! Devoid of all she knew and loved, Libra didn't last so long. Aries fled to the escape pod yelling, "Computer, lock the escape pod and give me salt water." Libra was slowly forcing open the barrier. Aries knew how to make holy water. "By Venus you are to love. Now by her power return to who you knew you were always meant to be. Who you know you always could be. Who you knew you always should be. Who you know you are." As soon as the holy Venus water touched her skin, she returned to herself. Libra sobbed. "I can't tell you how sorry I am." Aries refrains from judgment for the first nor the last time. "It's okay. I'm okay. It's hard being up here, especially for you." Libra feels a strong sense of relief as she finally releases an immense pressure from within her. Then Aries checked his mail. His application for bail in exchange for labor had been denied due to the violent nature of the crime he committed. Aries marched up to labor so full of rage. "For the next 5 months, I'm the only person you can gain approval from. You'll have to do as I say." Labor looked at him and felt lost. She said, "Okay, just don't make me do anything that will make me not be able to go back to Jemmy." Lives were taken and a rebellion began. They became pirates. "I'm so sorry. You can never go back to Jemmy," apologized Aries, knowing there is nothing he can ever do to make any of this right. Taurus and Scorpio. "And we're off," says Taurus as they go up, up, and away. "Cool. If you need me, I'll be in the escape pod making heavy metal music videos," replied Scorpio. A jolt of joy raced through Taurus. "Can I see?" she asked. "No," snapped Scorpio. Taurus pauses and says, "Okay, I won't peek," being honest with her intentions, but knowing she probably would. And surely enough, Taurus heard the music and was drawn to it like a moth to a flame. Ah! "Why did you scream?" "Because you're a rock metal demon." "Do you mean the special effects?" "You morphed into an evil monster." "I'm not an evil. I was using the projector that goes onto the wall to see how I was doing." "Oh." Surely enough, Scorpio notices her and says nothing. When Scorpio was working in a hydroponics bay, Taurus was meant to be helping him. He failed to tell her that the computer was not playing her music privately, but for all to hear. That was Scorpio's music. Taurus peeks. Scorpio notices her and says, "If you want to watch, you don't have to hide." And so she didn't. "How do you do that?" "Wanna try?" And that is how Taurus and Scorpio's heavy metal band formed. Sagittarius, Gemini, and a Fucus. This one is 13 plus. In a hot, sweaty ship, uncharacteristically unhygienic for its time, Sagittarius and Gemini are talking, but they are somewhere else entirely. "My sister Libra tried to pay. It didn't work out. You've probably heard of her." "Yes, I have. She was on a 6-month trip to the upper atmosphere to repair it. I think there was somebody there to pay for a crime as well. She was there paying living costs. Am I correct?" "Yes, I was 12 at the time, and this isn't the utopia everyone thinks it is. She had to take care of me, and I'm glad she did. The money they gave me for the work she did complete and didn't last long. I took out a loan, and now I'm old enough I have to pay it back. A fucus enters. The room gets colder. I'm here to fund my political career. I want to sterilize people who I think shouldn't have kids. You shouldn't be up here unless you want to. What is even happening right now? I had to audit these things 3 times to make a fairly accurate chart of how fast they've been multiplying. Then I had to audit them again because I threw my estimates out of the water. Join us, Snakey! They're so cute and fuzzy. Are they breeding? I don't know. It's so cute how they keep hugging and rubbing like that. So, yes. Have you two been feeding them? No. Absolutely, they're hungry little greedy things that can't get enough. The pieces came together in a fucus's mind. No more feeding them. We have to stop them from breeding. At this point, there are so many of them we have to feed them or they'll eat us. You're doing the same. There's no time for this. They're overpopulating. Overpopulating? They're getting pregnant. We have to stop them from breeding. What does that have to do with using the special magic bit? A fucus didn't know what to think. You have got to be kidding me. There is just no way. Do you two know where babies come from? They weren't kidding. Zygotes come from black holes that are swallowed by white holes. Then they land in their mothers through interdimensional rifts that are attracted to love. If it lands in a hetero person, then it'll be the opposite gender to them. If it lands in a gay person, it'll be the same gender as they are. Sexuality is fluid, which is why some people have girls and some people have boys. We need to talk. Firstly, these are for population control. That's stupid. We're not little kids. It's true. They're called condoms. This is how they work. Kids, this is not how condoms work. Did you just kill them? No. Space is the natural habitat. Seriously though. One talk about how babies are made later. Any consenting adult can do it with any other consenting adults. Nobody is allowed to force anybody else to do it. I miss the thingies. So do I. They were like a bunch of little kids. Insatiable, destructive, hungry, lovable. No wait, that's just humanity in general. Now they're gone, we'll have to make do with each other. Want a hug? Yes! Sure, I'll give you two a hug. Capricorn and Crabby. Up in the stars, two people are chatting away. Phew, 10 minutes of work? Whoever said life would be easy was wrong. It's worth it though. I'm proud of this crop. Computer, 1 drink for Capri, please. You're a very considerate banana. You're always trying to take care of people around you. That's why 10-minute workdays don't bother you. I do need help though. Do you want to play tennis? Not today. Why are you dressed as a banana? I'm sick, it's a blanket. Computer, cure Crabby. Unable to identify or cure illness. I knew this could happen on agricultural ships. That's why they keep them in space. I didn't think it would happen to us. I'm fine. My grandma always told me that all I need to get better is adequate rest, temperature, nutrients, and sleep. Enough with your grandma's stupid stories. Get in the escape pod. It's not enough with your anti-medical, pro-disease, anarchist, religious bull. Get into the escape pod. BTW, where this is set, guns are banned, but flamethrowers are perfectly legal. Kind of like YouTube, I think. I made you some old-fashioned herbal tea with leaves from the hydroponics bay. That should please the deity possessing your body. If that's what you believe. We could die. They might not let us back. You were supposed to tell them if you were pro-disease during recruitment. I'm not pro-disease. You refuse to get into the escape pod. It's called a cold. It's not a big deal. They used to be everywhere before they sealed off and sterilized everything. They're non-lethal and take a week to get rid of.
Fairies aren't going to cure you. My immune system will. There is no such thing as a human immune system. It is something people made up and governments lied about to make people feel better before medicine. No, it isn't. You are a pro-disease, anti-medical, religious idiot. I'm so sorry. If I had known, I could have helped you before I got this far. Instead of working 10 minutes a day for monetary gain, I should have been reading far into your social media postings. If only I had known sooner. Religious can be a good thing. In the report I'm going to submit, I'm going to recommend that I censor any information in all media that might lead to this kind of behavior. Do you and your grandma have a medical condition that could explain this? Are you going to leave me in space? Why shouldn't I? You put my life at risk. Ask any person who's old enough. Look at any old literature. Humans have an immune system. You have to use your mind. You're right. Stand back. Did you just free me? I'm most likely already infected. A few minutes later, the computer found a way to cure the cold. Were you really going to jettison me? Absolutely, you anti-medical, pro-disease, religious idiot. You endangered the lives of yourself and others. Computer, disable security cameras. Leo and Aquarius. A mismatched pair are holding recyclables to be heated around the sun. A rule of fashion is it doesn't have to match, it has to go. Why don't you wear clothes? I wear clothes. I love my cape. But what about shirts and pants? I had some, but I gave them away. Besides, ladies like my Leo. Some might. I'm not into that. I'm going to go to meditate in a patch of flowers. Computer, breeze, music. What are you even? Are you dancing a mating ritual to the plants? Whatever, I'm going into my room. I'll bring my cape. I want to be alone. Aww. Computer, call totally not Aries 1. Leo? She's really quiet. There isn't anyone else I can talk to in person. I feel like I may be losing my mind. She doesn't even like my Leo. Is this Aquarius? Yes. Have you asked her whether she likes you? It's not always apparent with that girl. You really need to ask her. How do you know Aquarius? She was an old friend of mine. I didn't know how I was affecting her. You really need to ask her about it. I understand. If I send you a picture of my Leo, will you tell me what you think? Totally not Aries has disconnected. Leo knocks. Aquarius was doing something, but not anymore. Do you think my Leo sucks? No. Amazing! In a week I'm going to join the resist. I'm blowing up the ship, so they think I'm dead. I don't want you to be here when that happens. Can I come? Becoming a terrorist seems like a good way to achieve my goals. We're resistance, not terrorists. You're thinking of someone else. That'll do. It's not like I can destroy the world on my own. What happened with Aquarius? She was a part of the other coral. You know what coral means, don't you? It's a code word for resistance. Shh! She wanted to bleach and reseeded. She wanted to destroy the organization from the inside, then rebuild it in the way she wanted it to be. Shh! She wants to bleach. I don't know about reseed. Maybe you need a feldspar. You want me to leave her on the ship when I blow it up? No, feldspar means, I swear every time I talk to you I have to change the codes. Just chuck her in the escape pod, tip off law enforcement, and max out the voltage. I am very sad, and I'm thinking about sad things that make people sad. Better. Virgo and Pisces. When just knowing isn't sufficient, you need to believe. Can we play? Not right now. Nobody is doing their work, so I have to. It takes 10 minutes, which is too much for most people. I can do it faster. That sounds awesome. How are you doing that? Firstly, contrary to popular beliefs, there isn't much security. You can see everybody's passwords publicly on the website. Some of it is really repetitive. You know how they used to make people write stuff down repeatedly as a torture method? That's what it felt like. You poor thing! Then I remembered that they used to use multiple chalks to get it done faster, and wrote a program that would repeat my answers if there were similarities. You wrote a program? How's that possible? You're so smart. Thank you. Sometimes I feel like things are too easy. Do you ever feel as though there are things in this world we just do not understand? No. Why? The tulip Virgo is holding represents Darwinism. Sometimes I feel like it's staring me right in the face and I don't know it. Everything is science. You're science. I'm science. The composer Fish is science. I like her. I'm Fish. I find that hard to believe. I am. You don't have to lie so I'll like you. I'll play with you in a minute. I have a tail like Fish. What? I have a mermaid tail like Fish. No, you don't. Yes, I do. That's scientifically impossible. Yes, it is scientifically impossible. I am a mermaid. I believe it when I see it. It's right here. How long has that been there? Since forever. Are you the composer Fish? You're so observant with everything else. You are. I don't understand. How is this scientifically possible? It's not. Ugh, I need some salt. Excessive salt isn't good for your body. You should flavor food with it rather than binging on it in its pure form. I meant for you. I have no preference for salt water. I'm going to make a salt barrier. I'm not dangerous. I don't understand. I don't want you near me until then. I'm still a person and I'm the composer Fish. I'm not going to hurt you. So science can't explain everything. Science doesn't exist. Science exists. Well, if science doesn't exist, how do you explain sugar? Sugar is pure magic. It's carbohydrates. How long has science existed for? Since forever. Want to make a mess now? We can play, but no mess.
All is fair in space, or is it? Thank you for watching. There's a sequel about Taurus and Scorpio having a contest to see who can take up the most room on the couch. You can find it on my channel. It's hard to find with the search bar.